Cooper's really the only one that knows what we're talking about today.
Everybody?
No, it's top 5 favorite movie franchises.
Today we are going to talk about our top 5 favorite franchises.
This video's going to be long as
This was a very on the spot
favorite?
video.
Marvel.
I
I
like
really
princesses.
like what Marvel is doing with their cinematic universe. I think they're the best when it comes to that. They're really good at balancing movies and stuff like that, and having like team up movies. I really like the way they do that.
They're watchable if you are a fan of the franchise, and they're watchable
Yeah.
if it's like the first movie that you
Right.
see
Yeah,
of
'cause
them.
I enjoy
I'm
as
not
well.
a huge superhero person, but like if I happen to go to a superhero movie, I know what's going on.
Let's say it's like the 6th MCU movie. Like if you go into it, you don't really have to see any other movies to know what happens.
Stuff like
Avengers
that.
Age of Ultron, you probably needed to watch.
I can understand what's happening, even if I don't understand the emotional weight behind it.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you guys pumped for Infinity War?
I am very pumped.
Oh my god.
Sure.
I'm so
I hope
excited.
somebody's
I'm good
super
for Ragnarok too.
I know somebody's gonna die.
I hope it's not
Expecting
Loki because I love Loki.
It'll be Ant-Man. Something
Loki.
new.
Don't
It's
step on
gonna
Ant-Man.
be-
I love Disney. I might be slightly biased to love Disney as a franchise because I'm a princess for parties as a job. I haven't seen a Disney movie I don't like.
Yeah, but every movie's the same.
I do have a formula, but I love the formula.
This is my biggest problem with Frozen, because everyone's like, oh, Disney just does the same thing where she falls in love. That's what everyone's saying. So it's like, oh, but guess what? We're do something completely different. So everyone was already I expected that as soon as I walked in the movie.
And then
theater.
everybody's like, yeah, it's the first sister story, but
Very good.
Lilo and Stitch was a sister story.
I like it.
Movies
But-
in general today are just very formulaic.
And if it's not, no one likes it.
So nothing's original. Nothing's
Yeah.
new. You can't market to something completely new.
I don't think Baby Driver did
I
either.
love Baby Driver.
Like everyone loves Baby Driver, but even that's still a
No,
car
but-
chase movie.
But I don't think Baby Driver did very well. Or did like
Yeah.
I don't think
I
it
don't
did
think it
super
made that.
well.
Next.
Alex.
Pixar. I love Pixar. I, in the 5th grade, did a report on John Lasseter where I had to dress up as John Lasseter. So I just,
Oh,
my
what school
Pixar
did you
obsession
go to?
started really early. And then I discovered the Pixar theory and now like really kind of push it because like, so, like
Did you just look up list of franchises?
Yeah, because I don't.
Alex is talking!
Okay.
But there is this theory that all of the Pixar movies are in the same universe and they follow a timeline, and that's
Yeah,
just
that
fun
would
to
be
think
sick.
about.
What are some examples?
So it starts with Brave, and the witch in Brave is like obsessed with bears, and
Alex is talking.
people think that the witch in Brave is actually Boo because they think that she
Oh.
spent her entire life trying to find Sully, and that's.
Damn it! The sound it's making.
So the Pixar theory basically follows like animals become intelligent and humans destroy the earth. AI technology takes over, and that's where Wall-E happens. When they come back to Earth, there's genetic mutations in the animals and humans, so that's where the talking ants come from. They have their own civilizations. They believe that monsters are genetically modified humans, and the doors in Monsters Inc. are like time traveling, so they're going back to the time when there was actually humans. And so when Sully goes back in time and sees
Wait, what
Boo,
about Cars?
Cars is when
Humans
they're
are all
destroying the Earth
Oh.
with pollution.
Oh, dope.
So when Sully's going back in time to see Boo, and he suddenly leaves, Boo makes it her life's mission to find Sully. In this process, she finds a door, and she goes back to, 18th century Scotland,
Yeah.
and is trying to find him there. Connections between movies, like the Pizza Planet truck is in every movie. It's really cool how they've connected all of that.
I'm excited for The Incredibles too.
Yes! Sorry.
I heard
Okay.
it like picks up
Excellent.
right at the end of the first Incredibles.
There's
Acronym.
some other movie reviewers that
Who
think
is
that Dash may be the next villain. Because
I
they
heard
may
Jack
do
Jack.
it in a couple years in the future, and Dash is like rebelling against his parents.
Yeah, I heard it was either Jack or Flash.
Flash! His name is Dash.
I want Jack to be the villain.
If they pick up where we left off, that's so uninteresting.
Cars 3 definitely redeemed itself from the second one.
Did
I
it?
didn't-
I
The
didn't
second
test
one
that.
was really
Oh,
bad.
I never
bad.
saw Cars 3.
Wasn't that the international one?
No, that's Cars 2.
Oh.
And they made that movie just to sell toys.
I
Am
like
I allowed
that
to
too.
recommend channels on this channel?
No. No.
But if you like
Not allowed.
Pixar-oriented theories, And also, they have Harry Potter and some Marvel ones on there too. Super Carlin Brothers. They do so many theories, and they're all really interesting, and they're backed up by fact.
So, I don't usually like movie franchises. I tend to like more individual, singular stories. One of the only franchises that I have seen every movie for and liked at least somewhat every single movie is the Scream franchise. Satire.
Can you put like triggered and then arrow pointing to me?
Why? Why do you hate the Scream franchise?
Because it's dumb.
Why? What's so bad about it?
Because what do you mean what's so bad about it? It's Scream. The first one was like, okay.
No, but like seriously,
It's like-
explain yourself.
Okay, the first one was like, I like the first one. Was like, oh, we're gonna flip it on its head because
Yeah.
it's like they're making fun of it. Then you become what you're making fun of in
The
all
th-
the sequels after.
The third one kind of became what it was making fun of, but I don't think either of the other two did.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. So.
4 wasn't bad.
So
The
I
whole
thought
purpose
it's
of
4.
Scream is to make fun of horror movies while also being a horror movie.
yeah, I
Wow.
can appreciate what the first Scream did.
I liked the second one as well.
Really?
I think the second one is debatably just as good as the first one because, okay, it's not nearly as
Can you get another?
it's not nearly as iconic as the first one, but it stayed true to what the franchise was about. I didn't feel like it had become.
Every time I do that, you
Alright.
just put triggered again.
I feel like the third one is definitely the weakest of the 4 because it does just kind of become over the top crazy.
My favorite all-time franchise, all 33 movies, is Godzilla.
Confession, I've never seen any Godzilla movie.
Well, confession, you're lame.
I've seen the 2014 one. It was alright.
I saw the terrible 1999
1998.
one.
1998.
Yeah.
That was with Matthew Broderick. I might be able to name all of them in chronological order.
And you call us nerds?
So the first Godzilla, it was like in 1958. This thing came from nuclear disaster because America super bombed us.
Yeah.
And like there's a bunch of shots of like people under rubble and like Godzilla looks so like the most menacing he's ever looked.
Isn't it a person in a costume like stepping on a monster?
Yeah, but it looks scary.
Yeah.
And it's different every time because every time he fights a different monster. There was Godzilla, then there's Godzilla Raids Again, King Kong versus Godzilla. Oh, I'm already done. I can name a lot. I don't think I can name in order.
Okay, the real question is, have you watched them in Japanese?
Yes. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, Terror of Mechagodzilla, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, Space Godzilla,
I wonder who's victorious every time.
Godzilla vs. Biollante, Son of Godzilla, Godzilla's Revenge. The worst Godzilla movie is Godzilla's Revenge. There's a shift after, I think, Destroy All Monsters. That was supposed to be the end of
Yeah.
Godzilla because like all the monsters from the Godzilla franchise like team up and fight his archenemy King Ghidorah. And after that, it became like this children's series for like little kids. And that's when his son came, and his son's like the worst ever. There's Godzilla versus Destroya. It's Destroya, but it's like Japanese. That honestly looks like the devil, and it's so dope because like in that movie, Godzilla's heart is a nuclear reactor and it's about to explode and kill everybody. So Destroya kidnaps Godzilla's son when he's like just turning into like a normal Godzilla, kills him. Nuclear reactor Godzilla's super pissed off, and so they fight. He kills Destroya, and then like the army comes in and freezes Godzilla, so the reaction isn't like super big. So he's just like melting, and then like God. As he dies, his life essence goes into his son, and his son comes back as Godzilla.
His life essence.
It's so dope.
Alright, we should talk about our least favorite franchises now.
New Star Wars movies like 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, the
Oh,
prequels.
the prequels.
Yeah.
Prequel movies.
They're okay.
Sure. I liked Padme.
My least favorite franchise is any cinematic universe that tries to exist for the sole purpose of just having a cinematic universe.
Did you guys know that Transformers is making a cinematic universe too?
Transformers is dead.
I hated the 5th one. I was the only one who saw it and reviewed it.
My least favorite franchise.
The Scream franchise.
No, because I like the first one.
How could you not like
Oh,
the
Fox
second
Fantastic
one
Four.
when there's that awesome scene
No,
in the
no,
movie
it's a
theater at the
good
very
movie.
beginning where
I
the girl
understand,
dies.
Josh.
They kill
I just thought it was
off one of
stupid.
the main characters
I
from the
thought
first
it was
movie
dumb.
halfway through.
I thought it was stupid.
There's that awesome
Uh,
chase scene with
Caitlin-
Gail Weathers in the recording studio.
Yeah.
There's the scene in the car where it crashes and she has to like climb over the killer to get out of the car. I'm just saying that for your opinions on Scream and no other way of explaining it other than triggered.
Because it's like obvious, like it's just a horror movie franchise. They're just movies after the first one, and the first one wasn't even all that great.
But why are
The
they
idea was
movies?
okay because it's just acting and it's stupid and it's predictable.
This
Except
is
I think the
video
first
right
one.
here.
It's 80s horror.
It's 90s.
It's 90s and
It's
2000.
90s actually. I'm afraid we're not going to make any more videos after this.
Murder everybody.
I've been fine.
What movie franchise do I not like? I guess Transformers, yeah. That's just stupid.
I think they should just leave it alone and then pick it back up later. I feel like
I think
Michael
he needed to
Bay,
stop being
even
touched
after
feet.
he said he's done directing it, I feel like he's gonna direct the sixth one.
I feel like.
Or have some sort of... Oh, you know what franchise I hate? Concert movies. Aren't those the dumbest thing ever?
Whoa,
Like the
hold on.
What do you mean, like the Justin Bieber movie or what?
Or like
No,
the
like-
Hannah Montana one.
Like
Hey!
the One Direction movie, that Michael Jackson movie.
Katy
Oh,
Perry.
yeah.
Hey.
The Katy
Like
Perry.
Justin Bieber.
Aren't those
Wait.
just stupid?
Yes,
You
they're
saw all of
Wait.
those?
I went to the
That's
actual
beside the point.
because like they made the Hannah Montana
Because I have a lot of
concert
DVDs
into a
of just
movie,
music
but I went
videos
to that
and all.
live, so I didn't see the movie.
Yeah, because like I remember watching
Wait,
Michael...
you went to that live?
Yeah, I saw Hannah Montana live.
I remember
So
watching
much
Michael Jackson's This Is It when he died. Oh, here's him performing live, and here's something backstage, and here's him performing live. It's like, does this need to be a movie? It's commemorative because he's dead.
Dead.
I guess it's
Yeah.
some sort of like piece of documented
Tribute.
history.
How did he
But
die?
like, why the would I need a One Direction movie when they're still
drug
alive?
overdose.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure One Direction had 2 concert movies.
They did.
Justin Timberlake, I'm pretty sure made one just recently.
Really?
Katy Perry made one, and then it was all about like her breakup.
It was badass. Final Destination.
I've seen the first one and the third one.
It's freaky because it's like actual things that could probably happen.
Are we done?
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Never
done.
done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye.